What up, people? Pussy Wild Black here, and I have on the line with me the Rant Sports and Fitness's Minyon Garrett.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And it's a little late in the football show that we do, but it's early for the Super Bowl because I'm not doing a Pro Bowl thing. I just want to do
No need for that.
No need at all. So we're just gonna do the Packers and Falcons recap. We're gonna do the Patriots and Steelers recap, and we're gonna do our who you think is gonna win the game, the big game, Super Bowl. Is it 50 this year or 51?
It's 50.
50. All right. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna get up. We're gonna see y'all doing Super Bowl. Okay, Minyon.
Hey.
The first game, the Patriots and the Packers. I mean, the Falcons and the Packers.
Yes.
All right, man. I was wrong because I figured after Dallas's valiant effort but defeat, I figured the Packers were gonna win that game. Number one.
Yeah.
And two. Yeah. I figured that if they lose, it was gonna be close. And apparently, the Falcons decided to beat Aaron Rodgers to a pulp.
Yes, I saw it coming, man.
What happened, man? Because what?
I saw it coming. I mean, I for one, I don't want to say Aaron Rodgers is overrated. I don't.
Here we go.
But at the same time, though, he definitely in that game he was exposed in a lot of different ways. And he's a good quarterback. He really is.
He's a Hall of Famer, dude.
He's a Hall of Famer. But at the same time, in order to beat a Hall of Famer, you have to play the way Atlanta played. Atlanta's defense was all over him, man. He can't do anything. His Hall of Fame ballot, if he was to go to the Hall of Fame merely off of just playing that game, if they were just going to judge that game, he wouldn't be in it.
No.
Because he couldn't figure it out. He could not figure out what was going on. They had different blitz packages ready for him. Atlanta's secondary was on top of everything. And I mean, a lot of people can say, "Oh, it was the injuries," but you weren't saying, injuries.
That wasn't injury. That was a full functioning defense. And
that was a butt kicking. That's what it was.
Full functioning defense, and that was an offense that Green Bay couldn't. No.
And I remember I told the fans, y'all everybody remembers. I said if it comes down to a shootout, Atlanta's gonna win that game.
No, yeah,
Atlanta's gonna win it.
I remember you saying that.
And then I said, I went back and I said, Atlanta. I see Atlanta winning the game, even if it isn't a shootout, because of the simple fact that they have too many weapons. They have too many weapons for Green Bay to stop. It's just too many. Julio Jones snapped off.
Bro, that catch was crazy.
Wasn't it?
When he fought off the defender, he still caught that catch was ridiculous. That was a real man catch.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And so, in my opinion, Atlanta deserves to be in the bowl.
Oh yeah.
Bottom line.
Oh yeah. That was not a fluke win. Okay, that was not a fluke win. I do appreciate all the Cowboy fans though quietly becoming Falcon fans.
Well, I mean, I can definitely say I hope that. I mean, I hope that they can pull it off. I mean, I hope they can pull off the Super Bowl win because I mean, they have the weapons to do it. But I do feel though, if it came down to Dallas and Atlanta, I think Atlanta would have beat us.
Yeah.
Because of the simple fact that Dallas doesn't play all 4 quarters. And see, Atlanta
Green Bay didn't
plays all 4 quarters.
Green Bay didn't play all 4 quarters either.
Yeah, Green Bay didn't play all 4 quarters. They were lost. They were done at the end of the first quarter. They were done then.
10-0. You were like, they're done.
They're done.
Wow.
Because the way the momentum of the game was going. That's why. That's why I say they're done. They're not going to be able to come back from this. And then, sure enough, turnover after turnover after touchdown pass after touchdown pass. And I was like, yeah, they're done. Stick a fork in it, baby. It's done. It's done. Send Aaron home.
It was they outscored Atlanta 15-13 in the third quarter, but that was basically it, man. They really couldn't get a rhythm going.
Right. Even if they did do that, which they did do, it wasn't enough to beat them. They were always playing from behind. So exactly. by that little comeback they tried to do, it wasn't going to help.
Right.
It was too late.
Well, I mean, at the time, like, okay, 10-0 first quarter, 14-0 second quarter, 15-13 third quarter, Packers. Like, it's a wrap. You're already, it's already done.
Right. Exactly, man. Matt Ryan, man, I was happy for him, man. He came out with a rating of like 139.4. Aaron Rodgers came out with like 91.6. But see, Matt Ryan threw for like 392 yards.
Yep.
And Aaron threw for like 287.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, it's just like Green Bay just didn't do enough. I mean, they were not ready for that offense.
Well, and also, too, they got to Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, they did.
In the first half. The second
half,
half,
and that's how you beat Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to see from Dallas, but Dallas didn't do that. After the Dallas game, I said, Dallas, before the Dallas game with Green Bay, I said, Dallas has to keep Aaron Rodgers on his toes the whole game or keep him on his back.
But
they didn't do that.
When it didn't work and he was able to get passes off, when that didn't happen, then they had a secondary that also flustered everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like I was excited for Green Bay. I wanted Green Bay to to get to because I honestly thought like it would be a better matchup for the Super Bowl, but after watching that game, I'm like, really? This is what you do?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. This is how you gonna play this out.
Yep.
I mean, they just didn't show up, man. They weren't ready. And Aaron Rodgers looked lost too, man. That brother looked like he was defeated from the time the kickoff happened.
Well,
he knew.
Wow.
He knew what was gonna happen. You walk up in there thinking, I'm the Hall of Fame QB. Matt Ryan got an answer for you, partner. And as quiet as it's kept, Matt Ryan is just now, to me, well, not even just now, but he needs to be he needs to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He is now.
Well, I mean, it's Shanahan, man. Kyle Shanahan. He's if he doesn't take that job in San Francisco, then he's not going to.
Right.
He's not going to be a head coach. He's going to be a coordinator, which is fine. You can do that, but that offense, like Kyle Shanahan being on that staff, helped Matt Ryan out a lot.
Yes, it did. It really did.
And last year, it was kind of like there was some growing pains, but this year, dude, everything seems to be coming together, and I think they'll make an interesting opponent for the Patriots.
You know what, man? We talk about an interesting opponent for the Patriots. I honestly, and I'm not trying to ride Atlanta's coattails or anything like that, but I really do think Atlanta is probably going to be the answer for the Patriots, man, this year.
Well, we keep saying like this is gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a shootout, and then it's one-sided shootout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be who wants it, who really wants it, who wants it bad enough. Because at the same time, I personally think Brady wants it bad, but I think Atlanta wants it even more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at it, dude, statistically and talent-wise, on paper, Atlanta wins against the Patriots.
Well, let's get back to that, man. What happened with because obviously we're moving on from the Green Bay game.
We're jumping.
There's really no point now. What happened with the Steelers?
Oh man, I don't.
Other than the fact that they pissed the bed,
they're coming up with a lot of excuses as to what happened, man. I mean, it's leading back to the whole hotel. Somebody, I guess, set off a fire alarm before game day, and it was an early fire alarm, I guess, that somebody set off and woke them up, and I guess, and that kind of thing. But then yet, Antonio Brown was a distraction. Then they're saying Tomlin is more less a cheerleader than he is a coach, and they've been saying that for like the past year.
Yeah, you've mentioned that to me.
Yeah, and
on the podcast, really.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they've got some locker room issues, man. They have some locker room issues and some individual player issues that they need to take advantage of and pretty much nip it in the bud before it gets worse. I mean, leading up to the next season, because right now, I mean, I think their team is divided. I really do.
You think Ben,
Antonio?
You think Ben is staying?
You know what? At this point, I want to say he gives it another season, but I think he's tired, dude.
Right.
I think he's tired. I mean, I think he's done his. He's a Hall of Famer. And I just think he feels like he needs to rest now. So if that be the case, Ben Roethlisberger's out of there, man.
But he has to give back $16 million, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's why I say he might stay another year. I mean, if I'm Ben Roethlisberger, I'm just gonna fight it out. I'm gonna stay another year, man. Because I'm not trying to pay back unless I just can't play because of physical reasons.
Right.
I'm staying another year, dude. I'm staying another year so I can get my money. I'm staying another year to get my check and possibly compete for another bowl. I mean, just because they've got so many distractions right now.
I mean, Brady's 37.
Yeah, like Brady's 37.
If you're Big Ben, like you're watching it and you're like, I still got a couple years left in me.
Right. Exactly. And it's hard to believe Tom Brady's 37.
Yeah.
That's really these years have gone by really quick.
Man.
Really quick.
I've known you for almost 15 years and it doesn't even seem like it.
Right. It's nuts. I mean, I'm thinking about when Tom Brady first came in the league, man.
Yep.
the Patriots and Raiders, man. Just I can't believe that. That's nuts.
That he's 37?
Yeah, I mean he's close to 40 years old, man, and it just doesn't make sense. But I mean, obviously, you got to do what you got to do. If you're Big Ben, you do what you got to do. You had a good career. There's really no regrets. I mean, I don't think he should have any, except maybe no, he shouldn't have any. Because I mean, well, the whole rape case, but
right.
That kind of tainted him a little bit. But I mean, I think for the most part, he had a good football career.
Okay.
And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a first ballot. I'd give him first ballot. Then if it was between Tom Brady and him, then you know who's going first.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom is going first. But I think Big Ben's first ballot, man. I think he's put up enough numbers to the point where he's first ballot. Now, I want to touch base on Tomlin. I really do, because Tomlin, right now, he's what my wife says. He's the poor man Omar Epps.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. He looks like Omar, and you know what, though? She's right, though. He looks like Omar Epps.
Wait a minute. What?
He looks like Omar Epps, dude.
Like an older brother to Omar Epps?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if you wanted to put Tomlin in the whole movie Juice, and he played Omar Epps' brother, that would work out. You know what I'm saying? Like it would though. Think about it. You got the juice. And then Tomlin turns around and looks at Omar Epps. He's like, "Dang, little bro, you got the juice now." You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Then Tupac is like, "Dang, y'all two look alike. Y'all identical." Could you imagine that being in Juice, though? How powerful that would have been?
Tomlin and
no, I'm
Juice.
just playing.
That's crazy. Oh, man.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm not cutting that out, sir. That's in there. That's staying in. Wow. He said Tomlin. He said Omar Epps' big brother in Juice.
I'm telling you.
Damn,
I'm telling you. Wow. If these fans don't know about Juice, man, that's an early 90s.
Netflix that. I saw that at when I was 10.
Yeah, Juice, man.
House.
Tupac was crazy in that one, man.
Oh, of course he is.
And
then sidebar real quick before we get into this is sports related, but before we get into the Super Bowl pick, because again I'm not doing the Pro Bowl. There's no point. They're doing a White Man Can't Jump remake apparently.
I heard about that.
One, I got two questions for you. Why? And two, how do you feel
about them redoing it?
Yeah.
I think that Hollywood has ran out of ideas.
Didn't they? Like, why do we need to remake this?
Don't remake White Man Can't Jump, dude.
Bro, let me ask you a question. Was it that timeless?
You know what though? When you think about it, think about us growing up, dude, and how that movie influenced our mindsets about playing ball, dude.
And about race.
So think about it like that. When we were young like that, when we were young when it came out, we saw White Man Can't Jump, and we used to play around a bunch of black kids, right?
Right.
So the whole color barrier thing was kind of still like, okay, white guys can't jump, they can't play ball like brothers, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So we watched White Man Can't Jump, and in a way, it kind of made a lot of people like, well, maybe, you know, they can hoop a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and mind you, that was around the time when, you know, the whole, the Bulls were winning championships. That was, let me see, wasn't it though? 1990. No, White Man Can't Jump came out in what, 92?
Yeah.
91? Something like that?
I remember renting it at Blockbuster.
Yeah, man, dude. I'm trying to tell you, man. I mean, I think it helped the color barrier, dude. It helped race at that point in those times kind of understand each other a little bit, you know?
Right.
But I think the remake of it, I mean, if they stay, they're not going to stay true to the story because they're gonna incorporate some things to where it's gonna draw the crowd of today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on how they run with it.
It's a total remake. It's a total remake about. It's just like the 7-Up movie, not Ghostbusters movie. What am I tripping? Did you see that movie, by the way? I know we're getting into movie talk, but did you see that movie, by the way?
I did not, but I heard some crazy reviews about it.
I haven't got a chance to see it either, but I heard it was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I have no problem in redoing Ghostbusters, you know, for whatever reason. I just think the characters shouldn't have been done that way.
In Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I think they should have done it differently.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined a classic.
Wow.
I mean, I know that it had some funny lines in it, though. I know that for sure. But I think that they were trying to get something out there.
Right.
I mean, but they ruined it for like.
And they really didn't take care to understand the plot or understand anything like that.
Right. So they ruined it for like the purest of purists, the fans that are purists.
Right.
You know, they ruined it for them, but oh well, they accomplished their goal, I guess.
Okay. White Man Jump is a classic. All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So, Patriots and the Falcons. You've already kind of intimated that you're going for the Falcons, and you've already intimated that your heart says go for the Falcons. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tom Brady, and I know what he's capable of. I appreciate his game. I really do.
But
I just feel like Atlanta is going to come and show out. I really do. And I think they're going to come out guns blazing. I'm talking about first play, gunning down the field type stuff. Because they're going to test New England's secondary.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're going to test their secondary. I can tell you that now. And you got to look at how these games, how the chemistry of these games are won, too.
Right.
Like, throughout the season, how was New England winning games? Were they blowing people out? Were they
were throwing up the middle a lot, and they were running.
They were what?
They were running. They had a decent running game.
Yeah, they had a decent running game. But were they blowing teams out?
Before?
Were they? Yeah. Like, I mean, were they marching down the field, putting up 35 points a game? You know, that kind of thing. How was Atlanta winning games all season? How was Atlanta winning games in the playoffs? You know?
Yeah.
You look at all that, I mean, we just saw Atlanta put up 44 points.
And first to 40.
First, exactly. So when you think about it, that's something to really consider because Atlanta has a running game too, though.
Yeah, and they use the screen pass in lieu of the run also.
Exactly. And they can get it down the field. They have the receivers that will go up and get it.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think that Atlanta's gonna get this W.
I mean,
for the Super Bowl.
From an offensive standpoint. Now, from an offensive mind, it'll be good to see. Okay, McDaniels is the Patriots are up by like one touchdown, and it's gonna be a shootout, man. Which I keep saying that, but I actually want one that's not only because the Green Bay Dallas game was a shootout by accident.
Right.
You know, like I think it was a shootout by accident. I actually want to see a real throw for throw, knockdown, drag out fight with the carrier. Not down, drag out fight with both of them. You know, it's not gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, it's definitely gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch. But I think that it's gonna. In the end, it's gonna be a falcon flying through the sky.
See, I think because offensively, they don't really throw down the field, but at the same time, you know, like they throw up the middle. Like they throw up the middle on everybody all the time, dude. The Patriots do, and I don't know, man. Like somehow I think Brady's a little bit more angry than he normally is.
Yeah,
and I think the Patriots are gonna win, and that'll be their 5th Super Bowl win.
You think so?
I think. Hey man, I thought it would be the Packers and the Patriots, to be honest. So I could be wrong, man, but I trust Jimmy's. I trust I got basketball on the brain right now. I trust Brady's anger.
Yeah.
And then there's always wrinkles to their offense that you've never really seen before, or you've seen but they only show up like maybe once or twice.
Yeah, it's true.
So what you got for the score, man?
Ooh, wait. Okay, Super Bowl. Ooh, wait. I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 28, 21.
28-21 Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm gonna say 28-21 Patriots.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I got you.
It's gonna be interesting, but I think the Patriots got it. And I'm not a Pats fan at all, but I just you know, angry Brady is a good thing. Angry Brady is awesome. So and then I don't even like. It's not like Josh McDaniels is playing for like a job after this. They're just thinking of ways to just torch, and they found another little average speed white dude to catch the ball out the backfield, and then you know the Patriots cornered the market on possession white receivers.
Boy.
So
they're on top of it.
What was the dude's name? He played lacrosse, bro. He was just an athlete guy. He was just an athlete.
I forgot his name, man. Totally forgot his name.
Hogan.
There it is.
Hogan, yeah. Like, dude, just like Edelman and Blunt and Hogan, man, had one of those had those crazy games, dude. So you got the Falcons, I got the Patriots. 28-10 respectively. I mean,
It's going to be interesting.
28-21 respectively.
Let me ask you a question, man. I know this is jumping off the football topic, but I wanted to talk about Dwayne Wade and his remarks in the media yesterday.
And
how do you feel about that?
It's funny you brought that up because now Rondo's got into it.
I read that.
Okay. All right. This is my thoughts, and normally we kind of stick to football, but we this is a sports show, and sometimes other sports happen. Dwayne Wade really doesn't have a place to talk, and I'll tell you why.
You said Dwayne Wade doesn't have a place to talk?
He doesn't have a place to talk, and I'll tell you why. We're talking about him basically calling out the whole locker room, right?
Right.
For the Bulls. There's a reason that LeBron James went to Cleveland. And they're friends, and they're cool. But there's a reason that there's multiple reasons, but one of the reasons and one of the sticking points that LeBron James had in Cleveland was, not in Cleveland, but in Miami, was Dwayne Wade would take days off. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You can't, first of all, I don't understand. See, I had to, and if you listen to my NBA show, what did I do with the Pushcasters on Anthony Joslin? When I had the Bulls going to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think that's gonna happen. They're struggling to get in the playoffs right now. Now,
yes.
When healthy and when fully engaged, I don't see the Bulls. On paper, I didn't see the Bulls not making to the finals, to the Eastern Conference Finals. Mind you, I said Eastern Conference Finals. I don't believe that on paper they're the third most talented team in the conference on paper. Okay, but Dwayne Wade's injury prone. He doesn't play all the games. He doesn't play engaged all the games. So you can't say, which is what Rondo was saying. You can't say what as I'm looking for Rondo's, because I actually want to hold on. I actually want to read what he said on Instagram because I think it's genius. Dwayne Wade takes games off, not plays. He takes games off. Okay, so for me, I have a problem when you say what you say. That's a young team, man. And
right.
Kobe
would have never said that.
Well, and then Kobe's playing all the game.
Right.
Yeah, Kobe's playing all game. You see what I'm saying? Kobe's not, and Kobe's playing all season other than, when injury happens. That's what he's doing. So to me, it's dude, what are you doing? It's come on, man, what are you trying to do? I never thought Jimmy Butler was going to be anything but a gunner. I watched Jimmy Butler play last year, and it was very difficult to watch him score for 40. And it's really not efficient. It's It's difficult. Now he's gotten better enough to be an all-star. I'm not hating on Jimmy Butler, but you have when your second best player on your squad is taking half the season off because you got bad knees. You're not allowed to say anything. That's a young team that doesn't understand that's a young team. Organizational wise, they don't have the horses, they don't have the young bench to keep up with everybody. And you got a bunch of old guys. You got old cats that can't move, and you got young cats that can run up and down everywhere, and they don't play defense. That organization is bad. It's not about like the young. It's not about the young players. And
Right.
like, okay, Dwayne Wade said what he said, and Jimmy Butler, didn't basically Jimmy Butler co-signed that. And I'm gonna get to Rondo in a second as soon as I find the Instagram post. But apparently, Michael Carter Williams was the reason for the frustration, right? Michael Carter Williams can't shoot. Michael Carter Williams is a person that is a guy. He wasn't a good shooter in Philly. Okay? So he was a scorer, but it was kind of like Jimmy Butler where he wasn't really a good shooter, and then he was just on a bad team, and he was able to, or in Jimmy Butler's case, it wasn't like he was on a bad team. It was because he got most of the shots because Derrick Rose got hurt, and he developed himself into like an offensive player. Whereas with Michael Carter Williams, he was on a bad Philly team and he got buckets, but he wasn't efficient. So, and then you got a bunch of pieces, I like Doug McDermott because he was they were clowning the young guys. I like Doug McDermott, but he's not a guy that scores. He's not a guy that like can create his own shot very well. You got to set him up. That whole team doesn't play defense. Their problem is an offense. Their problem because somebody's gonna, although it's in the paint, somebody's gonna pop off. Their problem is defense. They don't guard anybody. Wade doesn't guard people. He doesn't. He doesn't get back on defense. He doesn't guard one-on-one unless it's LeBron or someone he cares about. He doesn't guard people. Jimmy Butler is the only person that guards people. So you could say what you want, but you don't guard anybody, dude. You don't get back. You take plays off. You take games off because you got bad games.
Exactly.
So what are you talking?
Take games off.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
And you can't do this either. Either you in
or you out.
Either you in. Either you really want to go home. Either you really want to go home because you want to go home and you want to, play for the Bulls. And which, oh, by the way, for years he wasn't really trying to do that. Number one. Okay. Now sometimes you can There's a couple dudes that I trust in Chicago that are in the local media there. When LeBron and Chris Bosh and they tried to get Amari Stoudemire, and when the whole Big Three was trying to get formulated together, there was a thought process that was close. I don't believe that because D Wade has always said, I don't want to, because I hear other people that say the Chicago thing was just used as leverage, and D Wade never really wanted to play for the Bulls, and it just so happened that this year with Pat Riley going off, and not paying him, it just so happened that that it ended up happening like that. This is what I say. Like, if you're in, either you're in or you're out or you're not. You can't be like when they ask you about what are you going to do, because he has a player option after this year. Yes. You can't be like, well, I'm going to explore my options pretty much because I don't like how this is going. But yet you pop off with the mouth and say how I don't think people care, when you just said a couple days earlier that you don't care. That you're kind of just, that you have to go and check out other options. Okay? Like, you can't do that. You can't in one breath be like, hey, I'm gonna check out my options. I'd be lying to you if I'm saying I'm not checking out my options, but then you say no one seems to care. Okay, so are you in it or are you not? Because to me, it's like, okay, I'm hearing too many things from you.
Right. You know what's gonna. You know he's gonna leave Chicago, right?
Yes.
He gave it a year.
It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's gonna leave, man.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I wouldn't be surprised also if he stayed in Chicago, because he's my age with bad knees.
Exactly. I just think it's. I think he's gonna try to go back and play with LeBron.
He would have to give up a lot of money.
Yes, he would.
And he'd have to give up a lot of money. He'd have to, man. He'd have to give up a lot of money, or they'd have to trade for him. And I think, or he goes to New York for a season as a free agent.
Yeah, but I wonder what Carmelo's gonna do.
They're talking about trading him.
Yeah.
You know,
man, boy.
They're talking about trading him, dude. Like, and I don't know how, because Melo has a no trade clause. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I don't know how that's gonna go, but they're thinking about trading him, and to me, I would really. I don't think you should. I don't think you should trade. You should. Let me see. Yeah, let me go ahead and read. What D Wade actually said, and let me go find them. Okay. Jimmy Butler and D Wade and Dwayne Wade torch their young Bulls teammates. Don't know if they care enough. All right. Now, apparently, before that, apparently, you know what? Because I got both of them. So let me read two other things. Let me just read the articles or the statements of these things that I'm talking about. D Wade, Bulls inconsistencies will play a role in deciding on 2017. I'm gonna read this one, okay? And because he exercised his full option, right? He goes, yeah, listen, I wouldn't lie to say no and say no, Wade said, according to Sun Times. Of course, I can't play this game forever. I just turned 35. I have a number in my head on how long I want to play. And at the end of the day, you want to be in a situation, whether it's a competitive situation or whatever it will be. It's tough in this league as well because a lot of it also depends on how much money you're willing to make. It depends on what city you're willing to be in. So a lot of variables to that. But no question about it, what happens throughout this year as I go into the summer, I'll definitely take a look at it. And I take my career seriously and where I am, where I want to be, and I'll do the same thing this summer. Okay? And then he quotes here, you just never know how it's going to shake out, Wade said, per the Sun Times. Obviously, I'm not happy being 22, 23, or whatever the case may or will be, but there are things I'm happy with. I'm happy with Jimmy's growth in our relationship. I'm happy with the organization and how they approach things. No, they're not. I'm happy, but I'm not happy with our record. But no one on this team is. But it's months away before I concern myself on that, so go figure. Okay, you can't do that. You can't say what I just read and then basically say, hold on.
The team doesn't care.
The team doesn't care. Because you don't care. Because a lot of people, and this is what I'm going to read now. The team, basically they bleeped out this, but they go, they bleeped out this part. But minutes removed from an embarrassing collapse on Wednesday night, Bulls stars Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade enter the post game showers. They played their best two-man basketball of the season, combined for 73 points, but they didn't guard anybody. Only to see the Bulls blow a 10-point lead with less than 3 minutes left in the game. And oh, by the way, they don't listen to their coach.
That was bad. That was bad clock management.
They don't listen to, but dude, they don't listen to their coach because I didn't see the game, but I know for a fact that there was during the closing seconds they were trying to. Fred Hoiberg was trying to get, because this is on camera. Fred Hoiberg was trying to get Jimmy Butler to call a timeout, and he didn't do it. They don't listen to their coach. They don't like their coach. They don't listen to him. Okay, so. And then they lost 19-14 at the Hawks at the United Center. Just as they were in harmony on the court last night, they stuck the same role in front of the media afterwards. To put it simply, they torched their young teammates. And this is, quote, what they said. Motherfuckers just don't care if we win or lose, said Butler, who scored 40 points on 13 of 22 shooting. Okay? I don't know what happened. But you continue to be in these kind of situations and lose games like this, you really don't care enough. It's got to mean that much to you if you want to win, and it doesn't. The comments of Butler and Wade were primarily directed at their young teammates. On the night, Bulls utilized 5 players. Let me see. Ask if these youngsters have heart. Ask if it was the issues if these youngsters lacking heart. Wade responded, I don't know. He also didn't know if some Bulls cared enough to be angry or viewed the loss as debilitating. You're not going to be here. You're not going to be here. See, if you're in, you can do this. If you're in and you're not talking about your player option, you can do this. If you want to do a baby LeBron or a baby Carmelo, or no, a Carmelo, because Carmelo did it first because he's from that area. If you really give a damn and Chicago is where you want to be, then I don't need to hear about how you're thinking about exercising your player option. You're not allowed to do that. You're not.
Right.
You're not. Okay? Because you can sit up and you can sit up and you can shoot the commercials and you can be home and they can play the Rock from Robbins, Illinois joint again, which you don't really, and which you use Chicago for leverage. And now Chicago is a very comfortable place for you to go to because Pat Riley didn't want to pay you, which was actually smart. Okay? Pat Riley did not want to pay you. He wanted to pay the young Whiteside, and that'd be the cornerstone of their team. Okay? You use Chicago as leverage twice or once, and you're playing because you have nowhere else to go. It was either here, it was either Chicago or Denver. If you really give a damn about this organization, D. Wade, fellow Robinite, then you stay your 2 seasons. Because I don't want to hear about you talking about, I'm going to think about my options for next year. I'm not trying to hear that from you. And then you say, we don't care. This team did not make the playoffs this last year. Your coach is a bum. He's a bad coach. Okay? You've made it a point because you've listened to Michael Jordan. We've known this. You've made it a point to direct people not to go to the Bulls. Okay? Now you're here. Now you're trying to be an ambassador. Now you're here. Now you're home. Okay? You cannot be a leader and then a couple days, you're like, a couple days from now, or a couple days from when this happened, then you're like, man, I'm thinking about opting out next year or in the summer, because I don't like we're losing. Where are you gonna go? This is a perfect spot for you, and now you just, I don't know if I'm gonna stay here. But yet no one cares. And Jimmy Butler is so busy about being James Harden. What are you talking about? I'm serious.
You're right.
Jimmy Butler, bro, like, if you watch Jimmy Butler has gotten better this year, but quite honestly, and people in Chicago have mentioned this, Jimmy Butler has never reached the All NBA team not once, and he's 27. And
Right.
you're trying your hardest to be James Harden, and you're not. You can defend better than him, but you're not a guy, to me, that can lead a team to a championship. You're not the main guy. Not the main guy. Rondo, D Wade, when they're engaged, you should be. First of all, if you're the main guy, you should not be. If you're the main guy and you got 2 Hall of Famers and 2 championship players on your team, and you got a first round pick in you got a first round pick in you got pieces around you. Okay, you got pieces around you, but you're inconsistent. You're inconsistent, but you think you're one of the top players in the league, but you're inconsistent, and you've been inconsistent offensively for years. But you think that you're James Harden, and you want to run the point guard, and you want to be the dude. You want to be that guy. But right now, your squad is trying to make the playoffs when you should be the 3rd or 4th best team in the East, and you should be a serious contender for a Western Conference final spot. Because I'm sorry, talent-wise, no one on paper, no one other than Cleveland is better than you on paper. But when you got one aging star that don't got no knees and takes half the year off, you got one aging star, and I'm gonna get to Rondo in a second because he's the realest dude on this team.
Right.
Okay. So, and they're probably gonna end up cutting him after trading deadline if they don't trade him. Okay. But we'll get to him in a second. When you got a guy when you got 2 Hall of Famers on your squad, and one doesn't play parts of the season because he doesn't have knees, and the other one really can't shoot, and you got all these young guys around you, and you want to be the guy, and you want to be James Harden. James Harden is having one of his best seasons, an MVP style season. Okay, you'll finish. Jimmy Butler will get votes, but Jimmy Butler will probably be in the top 10, really. But Jimmy Butler is not an MVP candidate. He's not on this team. He'll put up numbers. He's an all-star this year. Yay for him, but he's not an MVP candidate. Not this year. But you think you're an MVP candidate, and you say little stuff like that. When I sat up and watched you struggle last year to get 50 points, and you're inconsistent. One day you'll have like 20 points. One day you'll have 40, and it's pain. And I watched them have 40-point games, and they still lost. And this was one of them. They had 40-point game. They had a 40-point game during that whole. They had the 2 of them idiots had 73 points together, and you still lost because nobody guarded and nobody listened to anything. But you want to talk about young players not caring when you're waving off coaches' timeout suggestions when you don't listen to your coach.
Right. Miss
me with that. Dude, I'm a Bulls fan. I love the Bulls, but I hate the Bulls, man, because they're supposed to be in the playoffs, challenging for an Eastern Conference spot, and I gotta hear these 2 idiots talk about like the team not caring when one of them got his foot halfway out of Chicago. All right, now we're going to get to the realest person on this team, who's probably not going to be here at the trading deadline, even if they don't trade him. We're going to get into Rajon Rondo, and I swear this wasn't going to be a basketball thing, but you got me riled up. Thank you, Minyon. Thank you so much.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, sir.
I have Chris on a rant now. welcome, guys, to the Rant Sports and Fitness. This is a legitimate rant. So, Chris, glad to have you, man. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
All right, the realest dude on this team, Rajon Rondo, in an Instagram post, said the following. Realest dude right now. Okay, showing the picture of Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, right?
Right.
My vets would never go to the media. They come to the team. My vets didn't pick and choose when they wanted to bring it. They brought it every time and stepped in the gym, whether it was practice or a game. They didn't take days off. My vets didn't care about their numbers. My vets played for the team. When we lost, they wouldn't blame us. They took responsibility and got in the gym. They showed the young guys what it meant to work. Even in Boston, when we had the best record in the league, if we lost the game, you would hear a pin drop on the bus. They showed us the seriousness of the game. My vets didn't have influence on the coaching staff. My vets didn't. They showed us seriousness of the game. My vets didn't have influence on the coaching staff. They couldn't change the plan because it didn't work for them. I've played under one of the greatest coaches, and he held everyone accountable. It takes 1 to 15 to win. When you isolate everyone, you can't win consistently. I may be a lot of things, but I'm not a bad teammate. My goal is to pass what I learned along. The young guys work. They show up. They don't deserve blame. If anything is questionable, it's leadership. Thank you.
He was
Thank
right.
you, Rajon Rondo.
It was
the realest dude
said.
on that team. The realest guy on that team was Rajon Rondo. Thank you. D-Wade and Jimmy Butler need to sit their asses down, especially D-Wade because his ass is halfway out Chicago.
Yes,
I'm thinking about what I'm doing at the end of the season. Get the fuck out. Get it out, man. Got me cussing, fam.
he's not. D-Wade's not even there, dude. Might as well say
he's not, bro. He's gonna leave. He's gonna leave.
He is.
He's not gonna. He's gonna leave. He just said if we don't do any better, I'm up. And then you want to complain. And then Jimmy, dude, man, look. I'm glad that Jimmy Butler is doing what Jimmy Butler does. You know, I'm glad that he filmed himself and he's scoring and he's what. But Jimmy, I'm glad he made himself into an NBA scorer. But you're not gonna win a championship with him as the dude. You're not. You're not. I've watched this dude play for too long. I'm glad that he's developed the game because some nights that's all we have. Because to be quite honest, and it's not a cheap thing. It's just they don't know what they're doing. Like the management does not know what they're doing. Fred Hoiberg should not be an NBA coach. He's not. He wasn't a good college coach. He wasn't good. Which to me, like you can make it to the tournament, but what are you doing it? You don't really do anything in it. You don't you get to the tournament, you get your ass kicked every rip. You get there, but you get punched in the mouth, and you're not a team you're not a team that gets to the tournament, but you're in a small conference, and you get there and you get punched in the mouth when you get there because you're in a small conference and you're overmatched. Like this is not what it is. You're in a major conference and you don't know what to do when you get in the tournament. So you get the job specifically because the GM of the team of the Bulls likes you and you guys are cool. So here's a job because John Paxson doesn't want to be the GM and he wants to be the president of basketball operations and he doesn't want to do anything. And Reinsdorf is like, I like baseball. So he likes the Bulls, but I like baseball more. So I'm worried about baseball more. And you got an organization, too, where the owner and the owner's son, they would rather be in the playoffs than take a bad... Dude, they would rather be in the playoffs than take a bad season and get young and athletic and do what the Timberwolves are doing and do what the Bucks are doing and do what Philly's about. Look, dude, the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be a problem in 2 years, if not next year when Ben Simmons comes back and gets hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia 76ers are going to be a problem. Okay? Milwaukee Bucks are a problem right now. The Bulls don't want to do that. The Bulls want to be middle of the ground. The Bulls want to like make it to playoffs, make it to the playoffs, get that playoff money, and they don't really care about getting punched in the mouth at the end of the year. That's what the Bulls are. That's what the Bulls are. The Bulls hope to get to the playoffs every year. They don't really care. They basically said, we don't want to rebuild again. Because when they did it right after Jordan left and right after they broke the team up, and one of the plans didn't work, because I remember what happened with the plans not working. They had all this cap money, and they had two first round picks, including the number 1 pick, and they just drafted Elton Brand and Ron Artest, right? And it was the year that T-Mac was coming out of the was coming out of Toronto, and he was trying to he was testing the free agent market. So, and he actually came to the Bulls for a visit, and so did Tim Duncan. The goal was during that offseason to get one of the free agents, and Grant Hill was there too, to get one of the free agents because they had enough for 2 full ball free agents, and they had Elton Brand. So you had a good nucleus of like money and a couple of young pieces to build around. When the free agents didn't come, then you got stuck with Ron Mercer and somebody else C-level, which is what happens with the Bulls, because nobody wants to come to Chicago to play, and they lucked up with D Rose, but D Rose got hurt. They traded him for blah, and it's just like it's just no. You got lucky in the you got lucky.
Chris is a little frustrated at the situation, fans.
It's just because the organization doesn't know how to do anything. They don't know how to build. You know what I'm saying? And the people that they have should not be here. Like D Wade should not be here at all, because that's not a smart dude. He's 35 years old. You didn't make the playoffs last year.
37.
35.
35?
D-Wade's 35.
I got you.
Me and D-Wade, we graduated the same year. I'll be 35 in March. He's 35 now. Just turned 35.
All right.
It's a bad decision for D-Wade to be here. It's not a good decision because you didn't make the playoffs last year. Rondo doesn't... Now, there are people in Chicago that don't like Rondo. Like, don't like the Rondo decision. I like the Rondo decision, but here's the thing. They don't run Fred Hoiberg's offense. They don't. They run something else. So if you run Hoiberg's offense, it can work. They don't run Hoiberg's offense. They run like ISO stuff.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler's Jimmy Butler. He developed himself into a heck of a player. I'm glad that he did. But I know that Jimmy Butler is not gonna be a guy that's gonna lead you to the promised land. You're gonna need some help with him. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got some guys. You piecemeal the team together. You got some talented guys, and they're trying to figure stuff out. And they don't run the offense that Fred Hoiberg was hired to run. So it's like, everybody's like, people are saying all these stuff. Rondo's the realest dude there. And he's probably gonna end up leaving because because the three of them don't coexist well.
Right.
But I digress. D Wade really shouldn't have made those comments and then say the team doesn't care when you got 1 foot out Chicago. When there's talk of maybe he's gonna team up with Minyon with LeBron again. Maybe he's gonna team up with LeBron again. Maybe if we get, because this is another stupid decision by the Bulls if they do this. Maybe Chris Bosh is gonna play. Maybe they're gonna go and they're gonna get Chris Bosh again, or they're gonna get Chris Bosh.
What do you think about Chris Bosh, man? You think he's almost done?
You can't play on, bro. He got blood clots. You can't play on blood thinners,
right,
bro. Like he's gonna be wearing a Kevlar vest so he doesn't bleed out if he takes an elbow to the chest. Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do that? If you're the Bulls, why would you do that? There's so many. The first when they did now, mind you, I expected the Bulls to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't really give a damn if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose in 6 games because you're not going to beat Cleveland with that. Even at their best, you're not going to beat the Cavaliers. You're not. Cavaliers are better than you, unless you can beat the Cavaliers, which they can't because none of these people can shoot right. You're not going to beat them. So you getting Chris Bosh, what does that do? So you get a guy that will probably die if he gets hit wrong because he's on blood clots, and you can't play basketball with blood thinners, so you can prevent blood clots from happening to you. Because if you get the wrong elbow somewhere in your body, you can bleed out or you can internally bleed to death. Why would you do that, Bulls? Why? You're risking a PR nightmare with your staff, with your medical staff. It's not had the best history in the world for taking care of people.
Right. Sure.
I just don't know. Like I don't like it. It's aggravating because they're not. See, gosh.
Well, folks, I believe Chris has run out of air.
No. I just had okay. I'm a basketball head, y'all. Even though this is a football show, I'm a basketball head, y'all, and I watch like another team I follow, and another team. If you listen to the NBA show, we kind of follow a little bit is the Mavericks, a little bit, okay. The Mavericks are in a weird situation because everybody's healthy, but everybody's injured rather, and they have Dirk's injured. Devin Harris is injured. Like a lot of their guys are injured, but they're bad. But they're young. The Mavericks are bad because a lot of their main dudes are injured, but they're also young, so it doesn't matter because they still got pieces. They still try every game. Wesley Matthews is basically that team goes as far as Wesley Matthews can take them. I thought Harrison Barnes was not going to work well. You know what? You know what Harrison Barnes is? Harrison Barnes is Jimmy Butler. Harrison Barnes thinks he's a number 1 dude, but he's really a number 2 guy. Jimmy Butler is a number 2 guy. Okay, Jimmy Butler will be perfect around someone else Jimmy Butler will be perfect around someone else that can actually score more consistently than him. Okay, Harrison Barnes is figuring it out. Harrison Barnes is getting the shot. Harrison Barnes is figuring it out. But that team goes Wesley Matthews. Okay, but that team is bad enough and young enough to where they can get in the lottery. This draft is probably one of the best drafts. It's probably one of the best draft classes in a while, in a few years. The Mavericks can be good, like substantially good next year, by accident because most of their players are injured.
Yeah.
See San Antonio. See the Spurs like many years ago when David Robinson got hurt and they were bad and they were blah, and you got Tim Duncan. Now I'm not. Am I saying the Mavericks are going to get the number 2 or the number 1 draft pick? No, but the Mavericks are closer to a championship than the Bulls are, despite Mark Cuban's objection of not tanking. The Mavericks are closer to a championship than the Bulls are because you have a young core, you have a coach that knows what the hell he's doing, and you're probably going to get a lottery pick over the summer. And you
Yes,
have
true.
and you have two young guys trying to figure it out. And you're probably gonna get a good draft pick, like I said earlier. Okay? The Bulls don't have that. The Bulls are gonna try to figure out how to make in the playoffs in the East, and they're gonna get punched in the mouth. Because Mark Cuban's scared too. But see, the Bulls aren't injured enough to be bad and to just say, okay, we're going to be bad and we're going to see what we have, and then we're going to develop. We're going to see what we have. We're going to develop the young guys, and we're going to get a draft pick, and we're going to be really, really good. The Mavericks, by accident, are probably going to be really, really good in a couple of years because of injury and because they got their Carlisle's like, we're just going to see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
see what they can do.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my rant. I'm done with the Bulls. The team makes me angry.
Yeah, I think they're making a lot of people angry.
The team doesn't care when your ass is halfway out Chicago. When you're thinking about what you're gonna do, what are you gonna do? You're thinking about what you're gonna do after the season. But you want to pop off at the mouth and you want to say the team doesn't care. And Jimmy Butler's all about himself. That's what the numbers comment was talking about. Jimmy Butler cares about his numbers. Jimmy Butler doesn't give a damn about winning. If they win, it's a consequence to his 40-point game. Or if they win, that's a nice plus to his 40-point game. Really? Y'all scored 73 points, but nobody can guard anybody. And we waving off plays. We can't run the offense. You let the Lakers beat you.
Sure.
You let the Lakers beat you. You let Dallas beat you twice. And I said glowing things about Dallas, but you're better than the Mavericks, and you let them beat you twice. You're better than the Timberwolves, and you let them beat you twice. Milwaukee gives them fits. Milwaukee Bucks gave them fits a couple of years ago because they were long and they guarded people. What you think was gonna happen when you don't guard anybody? Everybody else is getting back on defense. You're the last one back, but you want to talk about teams, but you want to talk about people not caring. And LeBron James went back to Cleveland specifically so he doesn't have to deal with playing with you gone half the season.
True. That's true, man.
Come on, man.
Anyway. What do you think about that?
I just think, and I understand, but it's just like, dude, your buddy left, your homeboy left. Your best friend left because he was tired of you missing half the season. He left for that. And you're doing the same thing here. And I get it because your knees are bad. I'm not saying don't do that. But you can't say what you said. When one, you have to take rest games off. And two, you're thinking about your free agency. If I'm a young player, if I'm a basketball player on the Bulls, I'm saying, D-Wade, you're full of shit because you're not going to be here. Because you're thinking about not being here.
Right.
I'm going to look him dead in the face and I'm going to be like, D-Wade, you're full of shit because you're not going to be here. We know you're not going to be here. And I tell him straight up, the only reason you're here is because Pat Riley didn't want to pay you.
Exactly.
You're not allowed to say anything in this locker room. And I tell him that straight up. You're not allowed. One, you made it clear 2 days ago that you're thinking about leaving. So anything you say after that is moot to me. That's what I would say if I was a young player on that team. You're not allowed.
I would definitely have to say that.
And I tell Jimmy Butler, hey man, why if you're such a good player, why are you inconsistent offensively?
What I would say is to Dwayne Wade is that, look, man, for you to talk is really invalid because, for one, you're not even playing to your potential.
It's not it, bro.
And on top of that, he can't talk because of the simple fact that everybody's talking. Like today, for instance, we were talking about Dwayne Wade's issues earlier today. They were talking about his leadership. Leadership is foreign to him because when you think about it, when there's championship games, I'm sorry, you take plays off. When there's playoffs, you take games off. You look to other players to take over, i.e. LeBron James.
No. But dude, check this out. He's hurt. He got bad knees. He's hurt. Okay.
Of course.
Them years of jumping up, trying to jump over everybody and falling down, and like his body broke down. Okay, so I'm not gonna, and I was listening to this like the local Chicago sports station, because I listen to them down here, because when that story broke, when that story broke, like I listened to that, and then the Rondo thing broke like at about 5:00 today, right? So I was listening to the podcast today. So when they were talking about the whole D Wade thing, he's done that before. Like what he did, he's done that before. He's done that in Miami. He's done that before. But see, I can't take you seriously when you're thinking about not being here. Like you can be injured because what Rondo was saying is like they don't take plays off, they don't take games off. There have been times where D Wade this season has been disinterested, and then when it's a nationally televised game, then he shows up. Like you can't do that. You can't show up when you're playing against your buddy. You can't show up when you're playing against certain people. You can't be like, I'm not gonna play during Dallas because I need to rest. Or I'm not gonna play this. Or you're gonna play when it's Miami because you want to show Pat Riley that you still got game. When it wasn't even about that, it was about, dude, the building block is over there. You need to take. I want you to retire here. But you need to take less money, okay? You let your ego get the best of you, which is fine. You could do that. I don't have a problem with that. Do what you want to do. I'm not telling you don't worry about your money. But you take plays off. You take games off. Part of that is your health. But part of that is you don't give a fuck about certain games. You don't. And then you're not... So... Everybody notices this. And then you say, I'm thinking about my options for the summer of next year. You can't say the team doesn't care when you're thinking about not being here. Like, you're not a leader. You're not a leader. You're not. You're not a leader, dude. You're not. Jimmy's not a leader. Jimmy Butler is not a leader. Jimmy Butler is a scorer, but he's not a leader. He wants to be, but he's not one. Because that wasn't an original thought to Jimmy. Like, D. Wade has said this to him. Okay? Jimmy Butler is not a leader. Rajon Rondo is the leader. Rajon Rondo was sitting there. The reason that he's saying that, like, the young kids are balling, are carrying, and they ball is because he's with the young kids, where these two ain't. Because D. Wade's going to be gone in 2 years, if not this year. He's not staying here, okay? This is just, this was the only team that wanted me, that was willing to give me money, okay? So, Jimmy, like, D is not going to be here. D is probably going to leave, if not this year. Because, bro, I guarantee you, if they don't make the playoffs, he's not going to be here. He's not. There's no point. Why would you do that? Like, I'm telling you, if they don't make the playoffs, he's not going to play. He's going to do his option. He's going to go somewhere else. Okay? So, because you said that. That's what you said, pretty much. So to me, it's like the realest dude on this team and the leader, as much as curmudgeon as he is, as much as he says stuff, as much a problem child of the league as he is, the leader on that team, as far as action goes, is Rajon Rondo. And as far as helping the younger players along, Rajon Rondo.
Exactly.
From all that I've heard, Rajon Rondo. And he's not going to be here. And to me, it's just like, D-Wade, you can do what you do because a lot of that stuff is injury prone, so I'm not going to sit up. A lot of that stuff is injury, so I'm not going to sit up and be like, I'm not going to sit up and bash him. But I just don't like the fact that 2 days ago you were like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be here if things don't get better at the end of the end of this season. But you're like, you want to talk about teams not caring.
True.
Including your teammate that you big up all the time. Because he only cares about dropping 40. And he can't do that consistently. So, miss me with that. Miss me with the I don't think motherfuckers care or give a damn or whatever he said. Like, I'm sorry. You're too inconsistent and you're too more about, I need to score 40. And I need to painfully score 40.
I need 40 points.
I need 40 points. Like, I'm going to need you to get out the way. Okay? And D-Wade had to... You lost that 73-point thing. You lost that because you didn't guard people. You didn't guard. You didn't scout. You didn't guard. You knew exactly what they were doing. Apparently, Dwight Howard wasn't really interested in playing, and you still lost. Because no one gave a shit. But yet them two want to talk, want to blah on everybody. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody's gonna be like, yay! Like, they're still gonna show up. Like, people are gonna show up. People are gonna, the Bulls are gonna sell out. It's a fun experience. There's not gonna be an empty seat. It might make the playoffs. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine from a business standpoint. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have to sit. I'm gonna have to sit, and in April, if they sneak in the playoffs, I'm gonna have to watch in the trade deadline for them not to do anything, or for them to do something stupid because they're gonna trade for a veteran instead of getting young, and I'm gonna watch them get in the playoffs and get punched in the mouth. By Cleveland. I'm going to watch them get punched in the mouth by Cleveland, and then D-Wade have one 40-point game, and Jimmy have 4. Jimmy have 4, but they'll lose in 5. They'll lose in 5 games with Cleveland. So, it's fine. It's fine. And then I'll watch Rondo go away and go on a championship team, or go to a young team like the Lakers and be like, hey, man, could you not kind of be an asshole for half a season? Because we might make a playoff push and watch him walk into a young team like the Lakers or the T-Wolves with Thibodeau, and they do something. Because nobody likes Rondo on the Bulls team, and they messing with him constantly. But watch him get cut or watch him get traded or get cut if they can't trade him. Watch him go somewhere for half a season and be awesome. And help a team get to the playoffs. Help a young team get to the playoffs. If I'm a young team on the cusp of getting to the playoffs, like the Lakers or maybe the Bucks, the Bucks might be in the playoffs. If I'm a younger team that needs a point guard and that the Bulls are probably gonna cut the guy, I would get Rajon Rondo, and I would let him make it for half a season, and let's see what happens. Especially if I'm out west. If I'm out west and I'm a young team like the Lakers or or the Timberwolves, I have Rondo on my squad because he's not a bad teammate. He's too honest, and he's temperamental, and he says stuff. This Instagram post is too honest.
Right.
Okay? If the Bulls are gonna just hell bent on trading him, or I hear they're probably going to cut him if they can't trade him, or that's the theory of why no one wants to trade for him. If I'm a young team, Rondo, come work with us for half a season and see what happens.
We could use you.
Right. See what happens. If I'm Cleveland, done. Okay. Come chase a ring. Come chase a ring. With if I'm Cleveland, if I'm Los Angeles, if I'm the Clippers, if I'm, like, let's see what happens. If you're the Lakers, if you're Cleveland, if you're the Lakers, if you're Cleveland, if you're OKC, if you're anybody that has a point guard need that's trying to just either in the playoffs or trying to get to the playoffs, get Rondo on your team for half a season. And then see what happens. But this, because they don't like him anyway, and no one wants to run their stuff, and everyone wants to be iso ball and whatever it is, as a Bulls fan, it's frustrating. Because this team should be a hell of a lot better than what they are, and I'm tired of hearing about bullshit. With D-Wade, with Jimmy, with Rondo, even though Rondo's the realest dude on that team, to me, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of that dumbass coach. I'm tired of that dumb coach. I'm tired of the GM that can't draft anybody. I'm tired of Paxson, who is really the only smart basketball guy there, but he's too chicken to actually run the fucking team. Because he's too honest, and he doesn't want to say anything. I'm tired of an ownership that cares more about the bottom line than getting back to championship basketball. I'm tired of them.
Right.
So, anyway.
Completely understand, man.
I'm done. I'm done with my rant on the... Do you have anything else to talk... Did you want to ask me, man? Because I can sit up and talk about them bum-ass Bulls all night, and it's 11.
I know it, bro. I mean, not really, man. I mean, you pretty much nipped it in the bud about the Bulls, dude.
I swear, man, you and Anthony, man, y'all know exactly what buttons to push when it comes to basketball, bro. Like, but I'm used to seeing championship basketball, and this is stupid. This is stupid. I said when they got the three of them together, how is this gonna make you beat Cleveland? How? Everybody was like, yay! Why? Everybody on my Facebook page was like, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting, but are you going to beat Cleveland? No. You're not going to beat Cleveland. You're not. And Cleveland is quietly getting better, quietly got better, in the East. They're not going to be, and oh, by the way, no one's going to be able to beat the Warriors.
No, the Warriors got it this year.
Is anybody going to beat as of now? And we'll end it. We'll end it on these couple of thoughts. Is anybody going to beat the Warriors? Anybody?
I think that they've got the championship wrapped up this year, dude.
Exactly.
It's all Golden State, bro.
Exactly.
Because I don't see any teams beating them in 7 games.
Man. Exactly. The Spurs, maybe. And that's a very slight maybe. Okay? Now, I didn't see them losing last year, but they lost last year.
Yeah, but they were missing a puzzle piece, and they got it.
I know. They weren't completely healthy, and now they have a closer in Durant.
Exactly.
So...
Like I said, LeBron James does not win any more championships.
We're gonna have to get into LeBron at a later time. I would rather be the Lakers than the Bulls. The Lakers are interesting. They're fun. They're fun to watch. I've watched them play. They're fun to watch. They're awesome. You know what I'm saying? They have more of an upside than Chicago does because I know what the Lakers are trying to do. I know what the Bulls are trying to do. The Bulls are trying to be The Bulls are trying desperately to make it to the playoffs every year. That's what they want to do. They don't care about winning championships. The organization said so. Because if you gave a damn about winning championships, you would gut this thing, and you would kind of be, you would gut this thing, which doesn't mean the team. You would gut the organization, get some real players, and get some real basketball minds in there, and you would build this team from the ground up again, and sit in the cellar for like a couple seasons, and because they're not going to be accidentally bad. Dallas is accidentally bad. They'll be fine next year.
Yeah.
You know, Cuban hates it, but they'll be fine next year. Bulls aren't going to be accidentally bad. Unless, like, you know, Jimmy breaks a leg. Unless D-Wade, like, and it's D-Wade with a bunch of young dudes. They got too many veterans to be horribly bad. They'd have to have, like, crazy injuries, which is rare. So,
very rare.
You know. But anyway, man. Anyway, people, this was I'm probably gonna have to change the title to this shit now. Sport.
The title is gonna be Sports Back to the Future.
Right.
Back to the Future. Back. There we go.
Yeah, sports randomness and rants. I don't know, but
I get around.
Thank you, Minyon, for just throwing a wrench in this discussion.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, man. That's the point of this.
Y'all know how to push my buttons. I'm a diehard Bulls fan, man.
Notice, guys. Notice how quiet I was while I let him rant. Notice. That's all you have to do. Notice. Take notice of that.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
I say one thing about the Bulls, the fire's lit.
I didn't even want to do that. I didn't even want to do that. You just, all right, let's go today. Like, we're gonna. No, man, I'm just a diehard Bulls fan. It's not a dumb basketball fan, and it's just I'm watching. Rajon Rondo is the realest dude on that team. Everybody else is fake. D-Wade is fake. Jimmy is fake too. That dude, all he cares about is his numbers. He doesn't care about winning. He got paid.
So basically, you got Abbott and Costello on the Bulls.
Exactly.
You got two comedians.
Exactly. You can't say what you said yesterday and be like, well, I'm thinking about leaving.
But who's on first?
Exactly.
Who's on first? Who's on second? Yeah, I know.
No. Hal's on second.
Yeah.
Who's on third?
Who's on third? Exactly.
Right. But anyway, on that note, we gonna get out of here, people. Minyon, promote your stuff, man.
Hey, I'm here. Can you guys hear me now? Like, no, I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna do some good things with the rant coming up, especially during the summer break. I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna get into some Olympic talk and a bunch of good things. Some good things in golf too. We got to talk about that.
My man is
some good fitness stuff too. So
my man is bringing up golf. Hey, bro,
yeah, man.
Hey, bro. We ladies and gentlemen, we're also gonna. I want to do a draft thing about concerning football, so we'll I'll get in the I'll start working on that. And actually, Minyon knows a major draft prospect personally, so we're gonna I'm gonna pick his brain. I do. I'm gonna pick his brain about football. So we will have more things with the rant, and we'll have more things with pushing PWB sports. And I'm probably gonna go into the basketball rant when I do the show with Anthony again, so you guys might hear the same thing but with a different person. But For Pushing Wild Black Sports, I'm Christian Dean.
And this is Minyon Garrett with the Sports Rant and Fitness.
All right, people, we out here.
Later.
Hold on, bro.